Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for September 7th, 2017. For your Thursday, we're going to clear out today the frontal boundary that was bringing the showers and periods of rain most of yesterday and last evening is now pushing eastward, and that is going to be introducing a trough that's going to settle over the region for several days. And we don't expect any precipitation this morning, but we'll have some morning clouds in some areas giving way to sun. And should be a mostly sunny evening by the time we get to the evening hours. So it's going to be a gradual clearing process, and then we have mostly sunny skies by the evening, mostly clear skies overnight. Going forward from this point, we have a little weak disturbance that's going to move in with the actual trough, and that's going to come through here on Friday, but I don't think it gets it too far into our area. Maybe the far northern areas might get a quick passing shower with this. Probably a 30% chance or less, not a real big deal, but then that moves out also, and right behind it is high pressure that's going to settle over the Great Lakes here, and that is going to be in control of our weather for the foreseeable future, and that high pressure is going to be setting up here right over the Great Lakes. So very comfortable weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. We're expecting bright sunshine both days. Add Monday to the mix too for another mostly sunny day, but that's going to be a nice stretch of dry weather that's going to be coming up here. So dry today straight through next week into at least Tuesday, and then we might run into some issues with the remnants of Irma, which we'll get into in a second. So this is going to move, this high pressure is just going to slide a little bit east here on Sunday, so not much difference, and then it slides almost over our top of us on Monday, and off to the south here. What's this? This is Irma. This is Irma projected to make a second, perhaps a second landfall. It might be the first or second. We're not really sure about that yet, but this could be the second landfall here in near the South Carolina-Georgia border, somewhere in there. I mean, my gut has still been Charleston for the past 3 days now, so we'll see what happens. But it's going to be somewhere in that vicinity for a landfall, and then remnant rains could make it up this way, we think, Tuesday night and also Wednesday. So you look at our 7-day forecast graphics, you actually see the chance for rain. It'll say that's from the remnants of Irma. So next thing we need to do before we get too far ahead of ourselves to understand what's going on with this. First, we still have a very powerful Category 5 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson scale, and this is a 185 mile per hour storm. By the time this video was recorded, it has been that for a long time. It actually set the Atlantic hurricane record for longest time spent above 188 miles per hour, beating out Hurricane Allen in 1980, but it is not the longest a hurricane has spent at a Cat 5. That would be 78 hours by the Cuba hurricane in 1932. So we got a ways to go there yet, but you can see it did come over the islands today. It came over Barbuda and also the St. Martin area, and also the Northern Virgin Islands. I went right over top of that, went just north of Puerto Rico here. So San Juan got some outer, on the north side here is San Juan, the capital of Puerto Rico. Did get some of those outer bands, and even part of the outer maxima of the eye wall. I'll show you that in a second too. Got a little bit close to San Juan, or just offshore. So they got battered there for a couple hours, but then this thing started rapidly moving to the west-northwest. And you're seeing some jogs in here too. Sometimes it's going more west-northwest, and it looks like it's going a little bit more northwest. You're going to see that with time. And I've go over to the water vapor imagery. Here's another look at it that shows the islands a little bit better here. But this is the Dominican Republic that it's off to the west here. There's some mountainous regions in there that could help disrupt the circulation of Irma. Problem is, this is going a little bit too far north of there, so I don't really think it's going to have too much influence. And the further away from those mountainous regions that can possibly disrupt the inflow to Irma, the farther away that is, the less effect it's going to have. And it looks like it's heading in that direction right now, and away from the region. Did want to take a look at the San Juan radar before this is recorded in the late evening, just before midnight. For the forecast video for Thursday, but this is where it was here at about 11 p.m. when I'm doing the video here. And you can see San Juan right here. This is Puerto Rico. Still continuing to get some flooding rains across the region, but this system is pulling away. But I did want to show you, I wanted to draw attention to this here. You have a possible eye wall replacement cycle going on here, and you have some contracting of this you see this the outer wall here. This is a concentric band around the inner eye wall, and it looks like it's trying to contract and take over. This may or may not be a complete eye wall replacement cycle, but if this does, it will expand the wind field of this system, and it will also make this eye a little bit wider. So all that, it might temporarily slow it down a little bit as far as wind speeds. It might take it from 185 to say 175 or something like that, but it should re-intensify once it gets back, and this eye wall replacement cycle is complete, if that's in fact what it's trying to do. It looks like it's trying to do that, but that's not been confirmed yet by recon at the time I did this image. So I just want to draw attention to that. And also the initial official National Hurricane Center track takes this from where it is now, still as a major hurricane, probably category 4 or 5, straight through this channel here. Again, just north of these islands here, north of Cuba, and then eventually takes a northerly turn very close to the Miami area. Miami is in the crosshairs right now for a possible direct landfall, but it does not need to hit Miami directly. It could be just to the east of Miami, and you're still getting some tremendous effects. It could be the west of Miami, and they're getting tremendous effects. There's a cone here, whether it can go up on the west side or east side. We're favoring east side of this of the Florida Peninsula, and we're actually thinking it might not be a direct hit, but again, if it's 30 to 50 miles offshore, you're still getting some tremendous impacts along the coastal regions of Florida. So you're not out of the woods just because you don't have the eye make landfall. That's a good thing. If you don't want the eye making landfall, that would be horrible. But then it does take the official track up here in the Georgia, South Carolina vicinity. And again, that's the official National Hurricane Center track. We're not too far off of that idea. Maybe a little bit further east than they have it, but I don't want to split hairs with them right now. Here's how we got there. Again, it takes us up through the model's taken up through the channel here and up just north of Cuba over the next couple of days. So this is not looking at Friday evening. By the time we get to Saturday morning, it's getting ready to turn, and Saturday evening, it's still north of Cuba and south of Miami, but then it starts taking a turn to the north, so that by Sunday morning, it may be making a direct landfall or coming close to it near Miami or southern Florida, and then it takes it up further north, reemerges over water if it does make a landfall. If not, it doesn't make much of a difference. It still weakens anyway because of a trough out here in the southeastern United States. But so making a landfall or not is really not going to be significant for these areas up here. It's just going to be a powerful hurricane, probably category 3 or 4 up here by the time it makes a second landfall. And that would be up near the South Carolina-Georgia border or somewhere in this vicinity. It could be anywhere from, down here by Savannah all the way up to Wilmington, North Carolina. So out here is Jose's out here lurking. Just I call this the tugboat here. This is so small in comparison, but it's like the tugboat that's trying to guide its battleship into its destination here. It's just watching and observing and just doing nobody any harm except just sitting there and doing nothing. It's just going to go lift off to the east and then northeast, and it should be out of the region. But one last thing that people are wondering about remnants to our area, we do think some remnant rainfall will get in here again Tuesday night into Wednesday, and that system will pull back in the Ohio Valley because again you have an upper level low that's going to be over the southeastern United States that's going to guide this toward the coast as it comes up like this, and it's going to actually pull it westward or northwestward around this upper level low that's sitting down here. So comes up the coast and it starts making a left northwest hook, and that's how it ends up here in the Ohio Valley. But we will get some remnant rains from this, and it looks like it's going to be, this is Tuesday night we're looking at right now, and then once we get into Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, the rest of it move through. Not a lot of rain shown right now, not a lot of wind shown right now, maybe a little bit of gusty winds, 20 to 30 maybe, and that's it. But winds or the rain is not looking incredibly high right now. This is just some remnant rains moving through. It could be maybe 1 to 2 inches as an upside, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martich. That is your outlook for September 7th, 2017. Have a great Thursday.